Hi, welcome back to Live and Breathe Horses, and we're going on with From an Old Master Trainer to Young Trainers with Nuno Oliveira, and today we're on chapter 20, the combined effect. So we're talking about using the spur, and there's a lot of misconception now that people think the spur is only to be strong, and even people think it's cruel. I mean, it's back to that thing, it's just a thing, it's how you use it. But the way my teacher, who was a student, studied for many years with Nuno and with Luis Valença in Portugal, the way we were taught to use the spur was, with such light, delicate touches. And of course, because it's a much smaller thing than using your leg, you can be even more delicate and soft. So let's see what he has to say. The combined effect with spurs is to have the horse attentive, round and light. But what is necessary, what is fundamental, is that in the combined effect, the action of the spur must be done at a different place on the horse where they act when asking something else. So, I give the advice. The action of the spurs to obtain the combined effect must always be done at the girth. And if the combined effect is correctly used, the piaffe ceases to be a mystery for many of the riders. Of course, someone who wants to practice combined effect with hard legs, legs not relaxed, and using strength in the hands, this rider will have a setback in the horse's training. A horse is not completely trained and collected if he has not accepted the combined effect. What you must know with the horse is at what moment in his training you begin this combined effect. With some horses, you must not begin the combined effect before you feel them relaxed in both body and head, but still ready and willing to go forward. With other horses, which are very hot and not attentive and have always the desire to go forward, the earliest you will apply the combined effect, then the sooner you will have a result. Here too, there is no system. It is the rider who by his thoughts and knowledge and experience can decide in which case and in which moment he can begin to use the combined effect. Combined effect is a very effective way to resolve many problems. I remember about 40 years ago, someone asked me to teach a horse not to be afraid of cars, trucks and trains, which went through the centre of the city of Lisbon. At this time, you could ride a horse along the main street of Lisbon. There was a little back street with very little traffic. Here the horse was more attentive to the combined effect than to the traffic. After 2 or 3 weeks, he learned to have his attention fixed only on the gentle spur, and then I started on the main street. And each time I felt the horse anxious or afraid, I stopped him with the combined effect. Without struggling, he progressively became a horse to go everywhere, and later I remember he was ridden by a lady, side saddle, who went everywhere with him. There's something very glamorous about that somehow. So yeah, and it's just, it's that thing that the horse knows he can trust and be held in a gentle way. There's no force or pressure. So the horse is trusting in that. And although he does not talk about it, because he naturally, when he was with the horse, was such a solid, safe, calm presence that it wouldn't occur to him that it was a necessary thing, because he didn't have to learn it. But I think in there, for most of us, a big bit of the work, apart from that, is keeping ourselves calm and soft and present and relaxed, so that we give the horse a safe place, that we feel safe first and sure of what we're doing, having faith it's going to work. So yeah, let's finish this chapter. So several years ago, I met Colonel Lagarde, who was stationed in the north of Africa. When I was there was an equestrian festival. Captain Boudon had to present his horse, Mabrouk, And just after that, there was to be some Arabian games. The Arabian riders made a mistake of the time or the hour of Captain Bedon was to arrive on the track. They started to gallop towards where he was presenting his horse in haute école. Captain Bedon stopped his horse with the combined effect. The horse did not move an ear while the Arabian hordes passed by yelling and screaming at the gallop. Afterwards, he continued with a magnificent piaffe, perfectly calm. Here is the strength of the combined effect. But today, in many places in the world, we see champion dressage horses who behave as untrained animals as soon as they are out of the menage and are subjected to many sounds and other horses. So I think this is a very relevant point. I mean, what is the thing of the whole training if you can't take it somewhere else? You know, this is why I'm such a big fan of also doing all the work out in the country, out in a field. And I know he talks about that, and it is, I've seen it as well. And is this possibly, here's the question, that, you know, they get kind of mechanized and trained in those white boards, but they're not really educated? Because if they're really educated and understanding the rider, and it's not just like a mechanical training, you should be able to do those moves everywhere, despite what else is going on. So yeah, love to have your thoughts on that. Thank you for being with me today. Keep tuning into the light, and I look forward to see you next time.